Well, good morning. Well, it's the beginning of the school season, isn't it? I remember those first days of school, and maybe you experienced this too, or are experiencing it now, and maybe if you had a new job, you've seen this too. Day one is smooth sailing. We got a new lunchbox, maybe new shoes, everything's all organized. Day two, pretty good, like we're in a rhythm. Day three, you mean I gotta do this again? Every day? Yes, every day. And it's not a routine anymore. It's stressful. Where is that piece of paper that I know I signed to go back? The shoes are lost. The lunchbox already has an old lunch in it. It all falls apart. You mean I gotta do this every day? Yes, you do. You just have to keep showing up. And that is true for the Christian life as well. It often starts with inspiration and excitement. Here's something new. But then reality kicks in. The routines can wear us down. Life can get messy, maybe boring. And faith becomes less about feeling inspired and more about choosing to show up, deciding to keep going. Not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. It's a lot like joining a gym. You can want to get fit. You can buy the shoes, the cool water bottle, the expensive leggings, and joining a gym. But unless you actually go to the gym, unless you sweat a little bit and get in there and do that exercise, it's not going to matter, is it? Now, 18 months ago, I made a decision to prioritize my own spiritual, physical, and mental fitness. The first step was to admit the truth about my life, the ways that I sought approval or acceptance from people or institutions who would not, and numbing the pain of that, and instead rely on the one, the only one who created, loves, and redeems me. That one, that same one created, loves, and redeems you. I recommitted to doing anything it takes, day by day, to live a centered life of peace and wholeness and health. The next step was to show up to that, hour by hour, day by day. To find the people and the places that would support health and wholeness and godly living. And this is one of those places. And sometimes we think we have to feel ready before we can start. But I've got something to share with you. Ready isn't a feeling. Ready is a choice. Ready is a decision. Ready is not a feeling. Ready is action, one day at a time. Spiritual growth is the same. You might long for deep faith, but you're not going to get it from longing alone. You have to show up for it. You have to pray and worship and break bread and confess, forgive, rest, and get back up again when you get knocked down. And here's the key. No one does that alone. The Christian life is not a solo treadmill in your basement. It's a shared workout, supported, challenged, and cheered on by others, by the people in this room. That is the church. And my friends, you can find the church all over the place. And the church is us, wherever we are. Hebrews, in the letter to the Hebrews, we hear we are surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses. Those are the saints who came before us and the ones that are sitting right next to you. Our community matters. The cheering, the support, the love, it matters. We run better when we run together. The writer of Hebrews uses a powerful word here, perseverance. It's more than just enduring. It's more than just keeping on going. It has this connotation of courageous, active, hopeful endurance. It's the kind of grit that keeps going when it's hard, but keeps going with a hopefulness, a recognition of the worthiness of our action. It chooses to trust when the outcome is uncertain. Perseverance shows up even when we don't feel ready. Hebrews calls Jesus the pioneer and the perfecter of our faith. And that means he began the race for us, and he strengthens us to finish it. When we're too weary to keep going, Jesus runs with us. He shows us how, and he sustains us when we cannot do it alone. And he sends us people to sustain, challenge, and give us hope. Now, you know that I am not always the person in the stands at a sporting event, but I love a good sports movie. And as a kid, maybe it's because a kid of the 70s, I watched Rocky jump up those stairs in Philadelphia, the Rocky stairs and steps in Philadelphia. But give me a good training montage, going from small town, weak kid to great fighter, racer, whatever. The ice skating ones are my favorite, quite frankly. But you know what I'm talking about, that montage of good music, and in 30 seconds, the amazing happens. It just wrecks me every time. So there's this movie called Overcomer, and it's about a high school runner named Hannah Scott, and she faces overwhelming odds. Poverty, asthma, low self-esteem. So she joins the cross-country team, right? And her father, formerly estranged, but they found a connection, he, instead of being able to cheer her on, was in the hospital. He couldn't be with her in person, so he records his coaching and his messages, and she's listening in an earbud as she's running along. He can't be with her in person, but he's able to be with her and get her through her race. So on the day of this big race, Hannah runs like never before. She is guided by his voice, and she wins. Yay, yay, she wins. And in the hospital room, her dad is cheering her on. And they share this victory, not because they're side by side, but because he had coached her every step of the way. Google it. It's an awesome clip. But that's what Jesus does. He's our ultimate coach. He equips us, strengthens us, celebrates with us, even when we stumble. He is perfecting something in us. Every one of you carries an eternal link to God's immense power. That same power, that same light, that same voice that created the cosmos and runs through all of creation, runs right through the center of your heart. That's our why. That's our grit. Angela Duckworth, look up her TED Talk. She defines grit as passion and perseverance for long-term goals. And she writes, grit is living like it's a marathon, not a sprint. It's holding steadfast to a goal even when progress is slow. Talent counts, yes, but effort counts twice as much. Grit means showing up day in and day out, not when it's just convenient or exciting. And I would add, not when it's easy. Does that sound familiar to you? Each one of you reaches for that grit at some level every day. And that's what we're hearing in Hebrews. That is faith. That is spiritual maturity. But grit needs a why. It is not just about muscling through. You need a reason that grounds you. And the letter to the Hebrews describes that reason. Let us run with perseverance the race that is set before us, looking to Jesus. He is our why. He is the reason we get back up again, the reason we forgive, serve, love, and hope. This is my why. I am ordained to shepherd and create the spaces of worship, service, community, and love where the church gathers to find solace and healing, where you come to be and become Christ's hands and feet in the world, where you come to find solace and healing, where you come to be Christ's hands and feet in the world. I have seen over and over again the power of sacred space to welcome and heal and offer true belonging. Every Sunday, I talk to people at the door of this church who say, I have found my home. I see people who have felt this home for decades, for their whole lives. We have done this for generations, and we do it every day. You walk in carrying burdens, and the people, the prayers, the music, all points to God's healing presence. That is my why. It is why I get up every morning, and I will do this for the entirety of my life in any church, wherever the church is in the world, in any space, not perfectly, but faithfully. And I know each one of you carries that why out into the world, carrying the love of Jesus Christ with you into the spaces of your life to be Christ's hands, feet, and heart in the world. So let me ask, who is coaching you? Whose voice encourages you to persevere? What is your why? What helps you endure the refining fire? Jesus says, I come to bring fire to the earth, and how I wish it were already kindled. That sounds kind of intense, doesn't it? We don't think of Jesus quite that intense. But the fire is not meant to destroy. It is meant to refine. It's the fire of truth-telling, change, and transformation. Jesus even says, this fire is going to divide families. And sometimes faith does divide us from harmful patterns, from ways of thinking that no longer serve the health that God calls us to actions and relationships that hold us into unhealthy patterns of living. That kind of division can be holy and refining. It's like, I don't know, maybe you're praying for a springtime of flowers and new growth, and all you get is rain. You asked for beauty and you got a storm. But the rain is what prepares the soil for those flowers, for that beauty. Maybe you're praying for clarity and receiving confusion, or peace and facing confrontation. That might not be failure. It might be formation. Applying this to here and now at All Saints in our lives, we might be praying for one particular future for this church, one particular leader who will come in and help us accomplish that imagined future or hoped for vision. And maybe God is in charge of that. Maybe God is shaping something new. And I wonder, are you willing to receive and love the leader that God sends here? Or are you going to insist on the only leader you want? Will you insist on your own vision and your own will and your own design, rejecting anything or anyone who doesn't fit in with that? So here's the deeper question. Do you trust in God, in God's good providence? Can you allow the fire to refine you, to refine us, even when it's uncomfortable? God won't skip the growing season. Jesus doesn't promise ease, he promises presence. He endured the cross, despised its shame, and now sits at God's right hand. That's not just where he is, it is where he takes us. And when you keep your eyes on Jesus, the finish line, it is never far. The fire will not consume you. The rain won't drown you. He is running within you, with you, as near as your heartbeat. So here's the invitation for us today. Show up. Show up. Keep going. Run with perseverance the race that is set before you. Let Jesus be your coach, your why. Let the rain nourish you and the fire refine you. And remember that you are never alone. We are surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses who have run the race before us. We are strengthened by Christ. And the finish line, it is not a moment or a destination. It is a holy and sacred promise. Amen.